Hello everyone and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer. I am here with World of Warcraft game designers. This is Louise, this is Corey, and this is Eric, and we're going to be talking a little bit about patch 7.1 as well as the new mobile companion app that is coming out for World of Warcraft. Everybody is super excited after yesterday's announcement. Like, I have never seen people so engaged in World of Warcraft in my life, and I've been doing this for like 7 years, and people are just... The panel room yesterday was completely full to capacity. They were at Fire Code.
So much energy in the room.
I know.
It was awesome.
I know. Everybody's really, really excited. So I have a couple questions that are kind of clumped together. So I have one out-of-the-box question, which I'm going to ask now, which is, can we expect any new artifact appearances in 7.1? A lot of people are excited about that.
So I think the artifact appearance system is something that is really, really awesome, and I think in a way it replaces what players would see as new weapon drops in other expansions. So I think, without announcing too much, I think it's the sort of thing that you expect them to take the same place in progression and kind of content as new weapons took in previous expansions.
So like, yes-ish. You heard
Pretty
it here,
good
folks.
description.
Yes-ish.
Ish.
Okay, so regarding the app a little bit, this was a question I saw from a couple people come in on Twitter when I asked if anybody had any questions, and that is, can you be logged in on the companion app and on your computer at the same time?
I'm so glad you asked that. It's a great question. I saw a little bit of that too after the panel. It actually uses your exact same World of Warcraft Battle.net login.
Okay,
so you can be logged into one or the other.
Or the
right.
other.
So because since you're logging into the exact same account, we can't let you be in on both at the same time.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you'll work in through that, and what we do is once you log in, we save your login in the app, so you don't have to enter it in anymore at all.
Okay.
We also support the Battle.net authentication app.
Okay.
So once you log in, you don't have to like swap apps or move over. It'll take the code that's generated, automatically apply that into the app, and drop you straight in, right?
Yeah, that's nice. That was a big question I saw from a lot of people. Now you said it has some Battle.net functionality. Will the companion have any sort of like chat feature where you can talk to your friends on your Battle.net friends list? Or, I know that the mobile armory has guild chat, but beyond that, I mean, we know people outside of our guild.
For sure.
So.
No, currently it functions around the gameplay features that are built into Legion. Chat is totally something we've talked about, and we talked about that during the course of development, that we felt like that could be a cool thing to add. But what we wanted to focus on to begin with was the missions, the world quests, all the things that would matter to you right away. To work with the game. Definitely something that's come up though.
One of the things with the app though is we'll see how successful it is and how players use it. And I would anticipate that if it works out really well, we would continue expanding upon it.
Exactly.
So that actually leads into my next question. A lot of people are asking things about what type of things we can expect in the future from this app. I mean, right now we're able to do our missions, and you're able to like track your world quests and see what's going on in that way. Something that's been talked about since Mists of Pandaria is mobile pet battles. Obviously not wild pet battles because you can't go out and explore, but for a PvP system, you don't necessarily have to move to do that. Is that something you guys would ever consider doing?
We've totally heard that suggestion a bunch ever since Mists of Pandaria, for sure. I don't think it's a crazy suggestion at all. Currently, we're focused on Legion specifically, and like Louise said, I think it's a matter of how popular the app is. We've set the app up to get feedback from players as much as we can. We're going to track downloads, obviously, all that kind of stuff. If it's something that's really popular, we're clearly going to invest more in it and keep pouring into it, right? But it's just a matter of what feels like it fits.
Okay, so last question on the app, I think, is right now we're looking at two separate apps. You'll have your mobile armory, which will allow you to talk to your guild, look things up on the armory, stuff like that, the auction house on there, and then you'll have your separate companion app, which has the gameplay features, the tracking features, your missions. Is there a reason that you guys opted to do two separate apps and not one, and expand on the functionality of the armory?
For sure. Here we wanted to make an app that was specifically focused for Legion, right? Whereas the Armory has already existed for a long time. It has a bunch of proven features that we know work. Things like guild chat, looking at your character, you can find upgrades. That's all been upgraded for Legion, right? Works with demon hunters, all of that sort of stuff. So we left that as is and instead put our focus specifically into trying to create a gameplay feature in an app. That's the reason why they're separate right now.
So right now, is there thoughts of combining them ever?
I think that's definitely something we've thought about, but we don't know if that's something that's worth it yet. We have to let the app play out, see how people use it, see what happens, and then we'll move forward from there.
All the feedback I've seen, and I think I have a biased audience because my audience really likes WoW. Like I don't see a lot of complaints, honestly, compared to other people. Like I feel like I'm positive, so people like to tell me what they like, and everybody is so pumped about the
That is so awesome to hear.
So pumped about
you know,
that.
like it's like we want the app to be light and easy to use. That's another reason why we keep them separate, right? With all the features that are already in the Armory, you could imagine how many tabs you'd have to have, how many things you'd be dealing with. So really, the core here was you could pull out the app real quick, check a mission, you finished it, send you guys out on the mission, short interaction experience, and keep it really clean. So I think that's another reason why we really felt that keeping them separate was important at this point.
At least for the time being, yes. So, all right. So from here on out, most of my questions are about 7.1, and they're also probably sillier than what you're used to. Something that my audience really cares a lot about is like mounts and pets and collection type things. And I know that Trial of Valor was kind of talked about in a way like Vault of Archivon or something like that. Are we going to see a mount drop out of Trial of Valor?
You're actually going to see a mount awarded from the episodic Suramar content. So by finishing all the content with the Nightborn and the Nightfallen,
is that the Long Forgotten Hippogriff?
No, it's actually a very Nightborn themed mount.
Okay.
So it'll have like the arcane trappings of all of the Suramar kind of decor that you see.
So what about the Long Forgotten Hippogriff? Is that in game and have we not found it, or is that still not? It is a pink and purple hippogriff. The model was put in like I want to say Wrath, and it never got used, and then it was found in the data in the most recent build, and it's renamed to the Long Forgotten Hippogriff, which was adorable. Whoever thought of that, very cute. But nobody has found it. Nobody knows how to get it. There's a boss in Val'sharah who looks like, not a boss, a rare.
Right.
Val'sharah who looks like him, so we thought it was on him, but it doesn't seem like it's on the loot table. So do you have any insight on that? Is it in the game? Is it coming?
Well, I'm starting to come up with plans about them.
I know. Now I'm thinking about what we're supposed to do with it.
So.
We really want it. Like
we need to build them up somehow.
When it was found in the data, people were like, oh, "It's happening,
Super excited
guys!"
about it. That's awesome.
It's kind of like the Ironborn Wraith Charger that was put in for time walking, and that had been a model from Wrath that never got used. People really like that because we get all hype about it, and then it doesn't happen, and then it happens. Then it happens.
Well, I guess just wait and see with that one.
So I guess no news on that.
Yeah.
Okay, next question is, we talked about there being a mount from Trial of Valor. Sounds like no. What about Karazhan?
Currently, I don't think there's a mount for Karazhan, as far as I know. But one thing to know about that is Karazhan is just going up on the PTR pretty soon here, and itemization is always something that comes kind of really late in the process.
Okay.
Right, so we generally know what's the item level of stuff we want to do, what are some of the feelings about what it's going to be, but a lot of times we're still working on that all the way up until the end. So
so not yet, but maybe
there could be one. Yes.
I don't mind that as an answer. So does Trial of Valor have any sort of prerequisite or attunement? I know it's there to kind of tie up the storyline from High Mountain. Are you required to do High Mountain in order to access that? So I'm so sorry, Stormheim.
You're not required to. It's however, for Karazhan, there is an attunement quest line.
There is an attunement for Karazhan. I love these throwbacks. Like, we haven't had this kind of stuff in a while, and I really like it.
What we're doing to help buttress the story in Stormheim is supporting it with additional content, but it's more through the way of like world quests and things like that.
Okay.
So if you're doing it as a guild and your friend just ding, you can break your friend along. There shouldn't be anything there.
Perfect. Okay, so no attunement for Trial of Valor, but yes, attunement for Karazhan. Can we hear any more about that?
You can tell them all about the quest line for that. Yeah.
Sure. You're gonna work with Khadgar outside, dealing with the Burning Legion. When we left off with him, the Legion was invading the tower, and he's frantically trying to put up the defenses, and he's like, "Get out of here, go back to Dalaran," and then we know, of course, that he had to follow us because the Burning Legion was hitting us hard in Broken Isles as well.
Really.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna come back, and we're definitely gonna kick them out of Karazhan.
Okay.
And part of the reason we wanted a little bit of a gate there too is this one sits a little bit above mythic difficulty.
Okay.
And what we want to give players is kind of like an upgrade path that's just 5-man focused. And we really mean it. Like, you don't have to touch raids to get some really, really good gear and to continue getting content there. So we just didn't want it to just be like, oh, I just ding 110 and I can do a normal dungeon, or I can do Karazhan. And
so Karazhan is definitely something that's further, and that's the only difficulty available is like this above mythic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's
super mythic.
And it's almost like a 5-man raid actually. It's 9 bosses. It's
that's big. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sprawling. A lot of people are gonna do it like in a couple sessions probably.
That's a week-long lockout. That's the other thing that allows us to do a little bit of a higher level loop, right?
Yeah.
So it definitely feels like it
Because you're
fits
not
like in that.
necessarily doing it in one clean swoop.
Right.
You might
Exactly.
do it in a couple nights. That's really neat. I really like that you're doing that for a couple reasons, because it helps people if they happen to fall behind in their raid, they have this other way to catch up, and it's less people, and they're still doing something meaningful.
Exactly.
As someone who spends a lot of time raiding, I feel like having that type of max level content that's still going to be rewarding and fun and challenging, but isn't necessarily 20 people or...
And it was something we missed from Classic, honestly. That connection that you form with a larger guild and a larger raid is really cool and special. But we all really have fond memories of our dungeon running groups, like taking on BRD, taking on some of those sprawling dungeons.
It's funny because one of my best memories in World of Warcraft, I wasn't even max level yet. We went into a dungeon and we were doing Scarlet Monastery.
Oh yeah.
And I was tanking on a druid, and we met two people that were on their alts. And I was like this newbie, like I had just started playing. I was level like 43. You know, watch out, I'm coming through. And we ended up being a guild with them for like 4 years.
That's
just people I've met in a dungeon. You don't really see that as much anymore, but I think with things like Karazhan, you might see that a little more now because it's a smaller group, but it's still very challenging.
For sure.
So another question about Kara, and this probably has to do with the quest line that you were talking about. I know that old Kara is still going to exist.
Yes.
So where is new Kara going to be? They can't. They're different, but they're the same.
Yeah. So you can always go back and do the original Kara if you want. There's a separate side entrance for the new Kara.
Okay, and that kind of like
for it.
ports you into
Remember
weird
the,
demon upside down Kara.
Yeah, because since the concept behind it, the way that you're going to traverse through is different this time, a new entrance kind of like signifies to you here you're entering in the bottom. And, you know, that's where you're going to start. Everything's going to flow the same way. And then doing a new thing hopefully lets you know that you're going to be in for a new experience.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really exciting. One of the things when I was new World of Warcraft player, I started in early DC, I was really excited for the expansion for the Lich King. It was my first expansion ever. And there was rumors that there was going to be like some sort of new Kara or revamped Kara, Karazhan Crypts. I don't really remember because it was a long time ago. So to hear it happening now, I was just talking about like when things get rumored and then they don't happen, it's such a bummer, but then they do happen and it's even better because you've been waiting for so long. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way about Kara.
It's such a special place, right? So I think a lot of people just have a lot of
I
had a
totally
lot
got
of
that mount
adventures
like 2
there.
days ago. After years of farming, I totally got the mount.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
I'm
awesome.
sorry to interrupt. I was
No,
really
that's great.
excited. You said like, oh, special for people. I'm like, I got a special thing recently.
that's
It's the best.
Those are the kind of
I
moments
didn't even know he
people
had
have.
fangs. Like it was all, like when I got him, I turned around, he's like, he's a vampire. This is amazing. So this isn't related to Kara at all, but you guys had talked a little bit about expanding on scaling and phasing and stuff like that. And the first time we really saw that in application was time walking. Is there any plans to expand new time walking dungeons or even time walking raids in the near future?
There are plans, and we're not quite ready to talk about them, but you know, similar to what you were mentioning with how fans were looking forward to something and then it happened, right? Like I would anticipate that very similar things will happen with scaling. We're looking at it in other places in the old world. We're looking at places like different applications of it. We just don't want to jump the gun.
So, if you guys were to do scaling, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. If you guys were to implement scaling in Old World, would you think that it would be something where people would get to choose to kind of turn it on or turn it off? Or would it just be like you guys are stuck with 110 wolves outside of Stormwind?
That's one of the questions, right?
Because I'm okay with like Alliance accidentally getting killed. Like that's fine. It'll.
Who isn't really?
I think the main thing is things like that and bucketing, right? Like, do you say like, well, if you put limits as to how far things scale, do you say Burning Crusade is 60 to 70 and Northrend is 70 to 80, or
you let them choose?
Yeah, do you make it
one or
an
the other?
opportunity? They're both 60 to 80.
Oh,
and
that's
you
kind
run
of a
parallel,
cool idea.
right?
Rather than it scaling all the way up to your level, like you would just get to do each zone in a non-linear.
Yeah,
that's the thing. There's so many questions about how you could actually implement that, right? And so you really want to do it right the first time, obviously. So it's just a matter of taking the time, making the right decisions about how to do that.
Yeah, I think scaling in this expansion has been like I guess it's not technically just this expansion, but scaling in general is one of those things that like I've done World of Warcraft like patch notes videos and PTR videos for. That's what I've been doing since the day I started YouTube. And I remember a couple of years ago, someone accidentally found time walking before it was supposed to be out, and it was like this big like. They're scaling in WoW. No, there's not. It was a glitch. They're scaling in WoW. No, you're blah, 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 back and forth. And then we kind of saw it implemented. Then we saw it with the invasions, which was an
a level
amazing
12 with a level
experience.
100 fighting a giant
in a
demon.
group. Like I kind of understand how you guys manage that not in a group.
Yes.
Right.
But like in a group, I thought that was nuts. That you could have these lobbies and you're playing together and you're both doing meaningful things. It's not a carry.
Yep.
I think the idea of that in and of itself in an MMORPG is amazing because it's really giving you that we're playing together feeling.
And you can play with so many more people.
Absolutely.
Right?
I feel like
not just the people, your friends at your level.
It worked so well. It wasn't one of those things that was implemented because when Legion went live, I said to myself, I'm like, this is either going to be phenomenal or a total disaster. If scaling works, and you know, if this because it solves the bottle. Phenomenal. I mean, I think you guys know that. I've never. It's like it's good when people are not complaining. Like people aren't necessarily going to stand up and be like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever." But, but angry people are loud.
Angry people are very loud.
The things that people are angry about are hilarious right now. Like it's like the leatherworking mount, and there was the guy. Did you read the forum post about the guy who was hated with Moonguard?
Scenario Circle.
Cenarian Circle.
Yeah.
So he couldn't start his artifact quest because the druids hated him for killing all of them.
I worked on that hotfix as I was reading it. I'm like,
I wouldn't have hotfixed it. I was like, these are the consequences of your actions.
You made a choice, buddy.
However,
You did this.
so to be fair, right? To be fair to the guy, right? Like we looked at it and it's like, hey, he messed up. He should, just repair his rep by running on Karazhan. And then we thought about it and it's like, but man, like. This whole expansion is gated behind the stuff he needs to do. So we just thought, like, okay, you know what? Let's give him a break because if he's got that problem, there's probably
there has to be someone else.
There's someone else
that has that
and they
problem.
might not even know what the problem is.
So, yeah.
Okay, so I have one last question. It's completely silly, and I sort of understand if you can't answer it. But since the Warcraft movie, a lot of people have been talking about Medan. He was sort of in the comics, sort of not in the comics. Every time he's brought up, we get a different vague answer. Medan, retconned or not?
We're gonna let you re-roll that question because ahead of time, you want a different question to be your last question. Because we're probably not gonna answer that one.
I didn't think you would. But
a re-roll. Perfect.
Wait, but
class trial.
No. It's fine. It was. I actually asked you all my good, solid questions.
All right.
So, like, does Medan exist in our universe? Is he someone we're going to see, or is he on some like endless journey? Is he the Gendry? Has he been sent off on a boat and he's just rowing for 6 seasons? I mean, we see so much at Khadgar. We see so much of him, and he's got a little Superman son out there.
We really don't have a good answer right now. Like, I mean, it's a character that's there if we we need to use them.
So no plans, but he's not dead.
No comment.
No comment. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for squeezing me in and making this work. I really, really appreciate it. All the answers were great. Everybody is really pumped about Legion. It's going so
we're
well.
Pumped. We're kind of bummed, even though the show's great. Like,
we'd rather kind of be plain.
We really want to have our characters maxed out.
I don't. My main character is not 110 yet because I've been traveling nonstop. So
Same with us.
It's a really rough feeling.
And I tried to play in the hotel. I have 1,400 MS in my hotel. It takes 2.8 seconds to go into Ghost Wolf form, so it's. I share that pain.
Right now, I'm having OCD about not remembering if I put my dude in the rested experience area because I had to leave in a hurry.
I hope you did. I hope you did. But
awesome.
Thank you so much again. I really, really appreciate it, and great job on Legion.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.